Hi, I'm Dr. Steve Grinstead, author of the book Freedom from Suffering, A Journey of Hope, and someone living with my own chronic pain for over 3 decades. Today I want to talk about the role of spirituality in chronic pain management. What brings this about is an intake session I was doing with a new patient this morning. I always make it a point to assess the 4 major areas I believe people need to be working on for effective chronic pain management. There's the biological or physical self. Then there's the psychological emotional, our ability to manage thoughts, emotions, make decisions, etc. Then there's the social, our connection with family, friends, and community. And finally, the spiritual. And this is the most misunderstood step of them all. And one of the things I noticed about this gentleman this morning was he had a very, very strong spiritual component to his pain management. He was lacking in a few other areas, but this was his strong area, and I really needed to reinforce that. For those of you that are watching this on YouTube, please go to the link to my personal blog below for some additional information on spirituality versus religion, including some of the definitions. Put simply, one of my patients, I think, said it best. She told me one day that, Steve, the difference for me between religion and spirituality is that religion is designed to help me prepare for the next life, but spirituality is designed to help me get the most out of this one. And for her, that was an awesome self-discovery. I know personally for me, I confused that in my early pain management and recovery, and I wanted to avoid anything religious. But I confused spirituality with religion. And when I finally got it, there was a loving gentleman that finally helped me get this, that spirituality for me is being in touch with my true principles, values, and attributes and who I really am. Basically, I see myself today as a spiritual being on a mortal journey and just doing the best I can. In some of the work I've looked at from Joseph Campbell, a famous philosopher, he used to talk about we're all heroes on heroes' journeys. And sometimes heroes run into ugly things, but that does not have to make them ugly people. And for me, that was certainly true. I ran into some ugly things and did some ugly things in my earlier days, but that wasn't who I really was. Today, through the power of spirituality, I get to experience who I really am, my true self. And I have found over the years that I'm much more than a collection of my thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors. I'm much more than that. And when I forget that, I can end up suffering. So for me, the difference between religion and spirituality is all the difference in the world. And I think people can have both. And some people, I've seen some very, very religious people who lacked in spirituality. And I'd seen some extremely non-religious people who had abundance of spirituality. And the best is when the person is both religious and very spiritual. I think I've seen people like that. A good friend of mine combines those two really effectively. And I believe it's important to have that spiritual component to make meaning and sense out of situations when we're living with chronic pain that otherwise could lead to suffering. And I believe that freedom from suffering is everyone's right, and it's also a responsibility. Thank you, and please learn more at the links below this video. Thank you.